Welcome back to another video, and welcome to the review of the Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe. Now this is available in two different engine derivatives, the 220D and the 300D, but what I'm testing out today is the 220D, which is a turbocharged 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine that puts out 145 kilowatts and 440 newton meters of torque. But the cool thing about modern day Mercedes-Benz is that they come with a 48 volt mild hybrid system, which not only gives you better fuel consumption, but also gives you a bump up in power too. So you're getting an extra 17 kilowatts and 200 newton meters. So altogether, you get 162 kilowatts and 640 newton meters of torque. That's not too bad. And speaking of that good fuel economy, this is performing pretty well. So on the highway drives and the long drives out, I've been able to get about 5.9 liters per 100 Ks, which is pretty good. It's in the realm of what Mercedes-Benz claims as their fuel consumption, but in your general driving you can expect about 7 liters per 100, but it's all depending on how heavy that foot is and how economically you drive. But so far I'm pretty impressed. This 2-liter turbocharged diesel is pretty frugal. Now, as I said at the beginning, this is a coupe, so it's based off of the new GLC SUV. It's just a different shape that they offer when obviously going to go buy one. But with this one, you're getting a sloping roofline at the back, so it's looking a little bit more sportier. It looks a little bit lower, and it also looks a little bit wider than normal, which is cool. So it gives off a lot more of a sportier feel, and gives people a different option when looking at getting a GLC from Mercedes-Benz. Now, I've never been a massive fan of coupe-shaped SUVs. That includes the BMW X4 and the BMW X6, as well as the older version of the coupe of the GLC. But this new version, it's got me changing my mind because I really like the way that it looks. I should be getting the GLE coupe also in the future, but between the GLE and this new GLC coupe, I'm a massive fan of the styling, and I think Mercedes-Benz has hit this one out the park. The way that this car delivers the power is also really nicely, so it's very smooth. The power gets delivered through the 9-speed automatic transmission that Mercedes-Benz uses, which is very nice. It's buttery smooth. You barely feel anything happening. All you can really see is the revs on the digital display here, just kind of moving and dropping all the time. You know, nothing's happening down here, and the power delivery is really nice. It also puts the power down nicely, so if you put your foot down, it gives it to you. It obviously needs time to change gears, but that happens very quickly here, so there's not a lot of lag in that department. But you can also find the right driving style that you like, because it comes with different driving programs. So you've got eco, you've got comfort, you've got sport, and you've also got the individual, where you can change how you want the car to be set up in the way that you prefer. And because this is an SUV, there's also an off-road driving program. This doesn't have the off-road suspension, or the one that you can, or the airmatic suspension, where it'll lift the car and lower the car as you need it, but it's still got the off-road driving program that you can use here. It also comes up as one of the themed options on the display in front of the driver. So once you select that and the one on the infotainment here, you can see everything from an off-road point of view, the angles of your car, how much power you're delivering, which wheels is the power coming from the most. So you get quite an informative display to look at, and yeah, so it makes, I'll say off-roading, but going off-road on the trails quite simple in the new GLC. And then taking a look at the inside of the new GLC Coupe, it's very similar to the standard GLC, and it's also very similar to the C-Class, because this being the GLC means it's the C-Class shape or size of the SUVs that they offer. So you've got the standard air vents that you would see here. You've also got the huge iPad infotainment down in the center, as well as a digital display in front of the driver, where you can also change the themes depending on how you're feeling on the day by simply going through the touch sensitive menu on the steering wheel over here. And standard on the GLC Coupe range is the AMG styling on the inside. So you're getting one of my favorite steering wheels in the automotive game here, the AMG styled steering wheel. The touch sensitive controls, which aren't really my favorite, but they look quite nice. You've got the aluminium looking paddle shifters, as well as some also metal or aluminium looking plastics over here. But overall, it's a really good looking steering wheel and very comfortable. Included in that AMG styling kit too is also the leatherette that you're getting on the dash. It's not real leather, but it still looks really nice, and it's very soft and supple. You're also getting the leather interior which is also different from the standard one because you're getting different styled seats as well as headrests over here. It also includes carpets in AMG branding. But what's not standard on the inside here is this really, well, I think is really nice looking pinstriped. It's plastic, but it's got a wood look to it. I didn't really like it at the beginning, but having driven it for a while now, it's kind of grown on me, and it looks nice, and it's far better than any gloss black or piano black across the dashboard that you could ever get. Finding a comfortable driving position is also really easy and really simple. You're able to do that on the side over here like most other Mercedes-Benz. You've got memory function, and you're able to get heated seats in here too. So now going into winter, that's probably going to be on all the time. And then moving on to the back seats, because that's going to have the biggest effect because of the coupe styling. And it does, because headroom is slightly affected, so I wouldn't have as much as I would have had before. My head still isn't touching the roof, and I am quite tall. I'm 1.87 meters tall. My head isn't touching the roof. I've got a little bit of space there, but there's also quite a lot of leg room, and this is in my driving position, and there's quite a bit of room in front of my legs. So overall comfort at the back is really good. You're also getting a center armrest that when you click it in, it first comes out with a little phone or tablet holder, and when you click it in again, it shows the 2 drink holders. So that's quite cool, and a really nice armrest in the back there. And then onto the boot, which is also affected again by the coupe styling, but this is what happens when you buy a coupe styled SUV. So the actual size of the boot isn't that bad, but where it is most affected is the height of the boot, because closer towards the end of the car, it obviously gets a lot lower, so being able to pack higher things in the car is limited. But again, that's what you know when you're buying a coupe SUV. But overall, not too bad. And then let's talk pricing. So the GLC Coupe range starts off from 1.4 million Rand for the 220D version, and goes up about another 50,000 Rand for the 300D version. But the whole range itself ends off at about 1.54 million Rand. A lot of different trims and derivatives to choose from, but I think that pricing is not too bad for the standard of what you're getting from a Mercedes-Benz. These great reliable engines, the quality of the materials inside, and even the build quality. Yes, I'm saying that Mercedes-Benz have never been renowned for great build quality, but on the inside here, there isn't a lot that's squeaking too much, which is definitely an improvement from some of their previous cars. But this car has got a lot of optional extras. 250,000 Rands worth of extras, and I'm going to put them all on the screen for you to see. But that includes things like the paint, it includes the wood pinstripes interior trim that you've got here. It also includes the aluminium side steps that the car's got on the side there, as well as this 3D Burmester audio, which again I would tick off because it absolutely pumps and the quality is impeccable. And then you also get this panoramic sunroof. So a lot of optional extras in this car. It's also got the night package, which makes certain elements of the exterior black. But the biggest thing is that it's also got the AMG styling on the outside. Now that's going to take the biggest amounts of the optional extra budget, but it's definitely one that I would tick, because this AMG styling on the exterior looks beautiful. From the sporty, more advanced bumpers to the multi-star grille, the way that the AMG styling continues around the car, the wheels, which are also an optional extra, but altogether I think it looks really, really nice. But you're now looking at a car that's close to about 1.7 million Rand. Now that's a lot. And then just below this huge infotainment, you've also got a little cubby hole that you can open up by simply sliding up the button. And in here you'll be able to find your wireless charger, as well as a USB and 2 cup holders. And then below my elbow you've got another piece of storage. It's a split little cubby, and when you open this up here, you're able to find some more storage space, a little tray up high that you can move around, and some more USBs. So quite a few USBs around the front of the car. And if you're in the market to get yourself a Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe, or any GLC, or any Mercedes-Benz for that matter, you can go check one out on changecars.co.za. They're a website that sells new and used cars, but the best thing about them is that they vet and check every single dealership that sells cars on their website, so they know who they are and they know what they're selling and the quality of what they're selling, because Change Cars prides themselves on great quality and impeccable service. And by doing this, they're able to weed out all of the bad dealerships that are there to try and make money and to scam people, turn kilometers back on the clocks and things like that. So you aren't going to find that on Change Cars, trust me. Change Car's website is also a hub for everything automotive, so you can go and watch car reviews, you can read articles, you can even do some financial things, because they've got a financial calculator that you can go and see what you can afford per month, and you can even go and see what cars you can afford with that amount of money per month, which is pretty handy. But what else is cool is that if you get a quote from another dealership that's not on Change Cars and you bring it to them, not only will they match the quote, but they'll beat it too. So go check out changecars.co.za. They're also a proud partner of Greg Dennis Reviews. Now, there's one thing that's always bugged me about Mercedes-Benz and all the modern ones. So it's not really specific to this car, but to them in general, is that on the right-hand side here, you've got a stalk that you actually use to change the gears with. It's not your lights or your wipers or things like that. That's on the left-hand one. They're all controlled via one. But the problem with that is, and the fortunate position that I'm in to be able to go through different cars each week, is that it's hard to get used to. So while you're driving, you flick the right one to put your indicator on and it's the wrong one, and you end up putting the car in neutral while you're driving, and it gets a little frustrating. But then again, that's my problem and something I need to deal with and just remember every time I drive a Mercedes-Benz. And then another few things that I'm not too happy about regarding this SUV coupe is obviously the visibility. Now, that's going to be negatively affected due to the shape of the car, naturally. But at the back there, you've got two big, fat black zones that you can't see through, and the rear windscreen is very narrow. Which leads me on to the other one, which is it doesn't come with a 360 camera system. Now, for me to mitigate the fact that the car has got poor visibility at the back, that they should have given you a 360 camera system, they didn't. Yes, they gave you the park sensors and a reverse camera, but I would have thrown a 360 camera in just due to the fact that visibility is very poor, and it would have added to the driver being a lot safer, being able to see all the way around the car at any given time, especially when parking. So thanks for watching another Greg Dennis review. I hope you enjoyed this video on the new GLC Coupe, and I hope you learned a little bit more about it. And if you did, please will you drop a like below, and if you want to see more videos like this and other car related content, then make sure that you're subscribed. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.